Hello and good evenings. Today I'm going to represent my individual assignments, reflection on cognition and learnings. And I am Björn Brendan Avifolion and my metric number is 012308. Definition of learnings. Learning is the process of acquiring, modifying, and reinforcing knowledge, skills, behaviors, or values through experience, practice, or instruction. It involves both conscious and unconscious cognitive processes that result in relatively permanent changes in mental representations or behavior. Relation to cognition, memory, and thinking. Cognition refers to the mental processes involved in gaining knowledge and understanding. These include perceptions, attention, language, and reasoning, all of which are essential for learning. Memory is crucial for retaining what we learn. It stores the knowledge we acquired and allows us to retrieve it later. Without memory, learning will be sustained. Thinking enables us to manipulate and apply what we have learned. It involves problem solving, decision making, and reasoning. Next, how cognitive processes influence learning. Attention filters the information we focus on, determining what gets processed further. According transforms information into a form that can be stored in memory. Storage retains that information over time. Retrieval brings stored knowledge back into conscious awareness when needed. Well, in the end, these processes work together. For example, effective encoding depends on focused attention, and successful retrieval often strengthen the memory trace, making learning more durable. In a sense, learning is not just absorbing facts, but an active cognitive process shaped by how we think, remember, and make sense of the world. So, course reflection. Well, throughout KMK2273, I've gained a deeper understanding of how the mind works during the learning processes. One of the most important lessons was that learning is not a passive activity. It is driven by active cognitive processes such as attention, memory, perception, and thinking. These processes work together to help us absorb, store, and apply information effectively. So, information processes theory. This model helped me see learning as a flow of information through sensory memory, short-term working memory, and long-term memory. It emphasized the importance of attention and meaningful encoding. Cognitive load theory. I learned that overloading the brain with too much information at once can hinder learning. This made me more mindful of how I study and how I break tasks into manageable chunks. Metacognitions. Well, understanding how to think about my own thinking was eye-opening. It taught me to plan, monitor, and evaluate more learning strategies, making me a more self-aware learner. And lastly, constructivist learning. This approach emphasizes that learners build knowledge through experience and reflection. It encouraged me to connect new information with prior knowledge for deeper understanding. So, impact on my learning approach. Prioritize understanding over memorizations. Use active learning strategies like self-quizzing and summarizing. Reflect on my mistakes and adjust my methods. And then lastly, pay more attention to how I manage distraction and organize my environment. And so what is my future applications? Well, use metacognitive strategies to access and refine my study habits. Design better notes-taking methods using dual coding like visual or verbal. Apply cognitive principles to help others learn better, especially if I enter a teaching or teach training role. And lastly, leverage my understanding of cognitive load to present and absorb information more efficiently. Well, that's all for me. Thank you, and you can contact me, my email for any feedback. Bye.